You're listening to The Kim Komando Show. Here's hour 4.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. This is really tough. Imagine if this is you. So you go to a job interview earlier in the day. Everything's going great. You're like, I crushed it. But then comes midnight and you get an email. Maybe it goes something like this. Hey, I miss seeing you today. I work over at so-and-so, and I would love to connect with you sometime. When would you like to get together? So the question is, do you respond to that message right then and there at midnight? Okay, well, if you didn't, you might have just lost the job. That's according to a recruiter for a company in Houston. And he says he does this all the time to prospective employees. He says that responding quickly would put you ahead of all the competition. It shows that you would respond to your clients quickly. Yes, and while you're there, grab a Snickers, which at midnight is just what we call a snacrifice. Oh, I know that hurt even me. Hey, on that happy note, welcome folks to the Kim Komando Show. I'm, of course, your beloved digital goddess, and I am here to always make sure that you are tech ahead and never left tech behind in the digital dust, because it is just moving so quickly. And just a reminder, if you're traveling around, you can find my show on over 425 top stations and streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show streaming as a podcast. So wherever you get your podcasts, just search for Komando with a K, of course. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, reaching over 375 U.S. service members. And just a reminder that the Komando hotline is open right now at 1-888-825-5254. And it's a great way to join in on the fun. I know you have at least a few questions about something digital. And unlike those AI chatbots, I do not hallucinate. Well, not that much. And you can also make an appointment to speak with me here on the show. Just head over to komando.com, and up at the top, there's a link that says Ask Kim. You know the drill. Every single day, yes, weekends, weekdays, national holidays, even when I'm on vacation, yes, tech doesn't stop. So therefore, I can't stop, but I visit at least 35, 40 different sites to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech world so that I can, in turn, transfer all this intellect and know-how directly to you on our shows. And here are 5 things that you need to know that are happening right now. And we're going to start with social media influencers. You know those recommendations? They are bought and sold without fans ever knowing. But now the word is out. It's a lot worse than anybody has ever thought. We all know that celebrities, big names like Justin Bieber, the Kardashians, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Selena Gomez, and a host of others, they are for sale to the highest online social media bidder. And let me tell you, their endorsements are often bought and paid for. But this was so interesting to me. The Los Angeles Times says it's not just products they're endorsing. Yeah, new information says that the Times, quoting now, just coming to light shows more than 500 social media creators are part of a covert electioneering effort by Democratic donors to shape the presidential election in favor of Kamala Harris. Now, let me tell you this. I don't really care who endorses who for any public office, but the law requires that if you endorse anything for any kind of payment, you must disclose it. The problem, they did not. All right, moving on to the conclave in Italy and Pope Francis. The funeral was seen here in North America in the very early hours, and I still cannot get this Pope selfie thing out of my mind. So today, here are my thoughts about this centuries-old tradition. Now, I don't expect that the world's largest Christian church with its 1.4 billion members are going to pay a lot of attention to me. But this business of taking selfies with the Pope's body was cringeworthy. You know, Catholic traditions have long allowed the faithful to view the Pope one last time, but the church didn't see selfies coming. There was no such spectacle, though. Think about this, when Elizabeth II died, or when other heads of state are laid to rest. So perhaps it's just time for the church to reconsider these unintended consequences of the smartphone. I don't know what was going on, but even during the funeral mass, okay, and even during the funeral, did you see the heads of state? Yeah, they were taking photos of themselves with the casket too. I'm like, what is going on? No decorum. Moving on to number 3, this is a message that you have to talk to your parents, your grandparents about, because this is a fact. In 2024, Americans between the ages of 65 and up fell for scams that cost them, are you ready for this number? $4,800,000,000. Oh my gosh, almost $5 billion. And every single one of these scams could have been avoided. And that's where you, my dear friend, comes in. Now, the heart of the message is this. Your bank, your government, city, state, or federal, the post office, the courts, the police, the IRS, big companies like Apple and Microsoft, or any other major company entity, they are never going to call you. They are never going to email you and text you to tell you that you have late taxes, unpaid traffic tickets, or warnings that your computer has been compromised, your bank account has been compromised, and you have to help them out. Okay, it's not going to happen. So you also might want to tell them that if they do get such a phone call, they should hang up. And if they don't hang up, that they need to alert you. They need to tell you exactly what's going on, and that they may be embarrassed, but you're their family members and you're there to help them. Moving on to number 4, something really strange is happening out there. What? Yes, the James Webb Space Telescope picked up traces of dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide on a planet 124 light years away. Okay, and you're sitting there going like, oh, what does that have to do? Okay, on Earth, these gases only come from living things. So the planet K2-18b, let's name it something everybody's going to remember. Anyway, it's almost 3 times the size of Earth. It orbits as a cold, dim red dwarf star, and a year there lasts just 33 days. Now, most of this planet is water. If life exists, it could be something swimming in a dark alien ocean. Wow, isn't that something? Now, the scientists can't rule out that these signals come from some unknown chemical process. In other words, either there's life out there or there are forces at work that we just have no idea what it is. And finally, this coming in at number 5. After a breakup, what do? You talk to your friends about what's going on. They're your sounding board. And, if we're being honest, maybe they're more likely to take your side than the other side. So a lot of folks are turning to an app to get the truth. It's called Texts from My Ex. It uses ChatGPT AI, dives through all your messages from your ex or anyone else you're communicating with. So you go there, you upload the conversations, and then you get an analysis of how good a match you are. So the first analysis is free. So somebody here at Team Commando tried it out on her ex-boyfriend's messages. Now, she did say she deleted some messages because even if it claims to be private, things are never really private. The results, really telling. I mean, the ex and her were 22% compatible. Okay, those are not good odds. Horrible attachment styles, horrible communication, a negative 1 point in sexiness. Okay, yeah. That is a thing. Let's see, coming up, we have a secret menu on your TV, how Instacart has gotten so expensive, and why you should stop this one thing whenever you install a new app. And of course, we just have the best callers ever. And you got me, Kim Commando. I'm so excited to tell you about this. I have a brand new contest, Pay It Forward. And here's how it works. You can win $500, and then you can say to me, Kim Commando, I want to give another $500 to my friend, my stranger, my cause, whatever it may be. Okay, it's the Pay It Forward challenge right now. $500 for you and $500 to somebody else who you name. And you can enter to win right now at winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. All right, let's start with all of your great phone calls. First up, Laura in Portland, Oregon.
Well, hi, Kim. Hey, thank you for taking my call.
You betcha. What's going on?
Well, I'm planning a trip to Switzerland this summer, and I need to have
I'm jealous.
I know, it's going to be so great.
Let me tell you, Switzerland is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Switzerland is so beautiful. It is. So why did you pick Switzerland?
I picked Switzerland because the last time I was there for just 2 days, and we went from Basel to Lucerne, I could not keep my face off the window of the train. It was just so gorgeous.
Oh, my God. Lake Lucerne? Isn't that one of the most beautiful places on the planet?
It is. And, just the train ride there, I was like, oh, my gosh, this is fairyland. So...
Well, it's a couple of years ago, my son and I, what we do is re-rent cars and we drive through Europe. And so like we landed in Milan and then we ended up in Baden-Baden. But through that, we went through we actually put our car on a ferry in Lake Lucerne and went from one side to the other. And the water was it's like this
Turquoise.
sky crystal. Yes, it's just this weird color from all the minerals. I mean, I'm so excited for you that you're able to do that and go back because it's so wonderful.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
So you want to take your phone because you need your phone. Everybody needs your phone, right?
Right. I'm going to be checking train schedules, ferry schedules, and I also need my cell phone active too so I can call back and check on my animals and things here.
So what kind of phone do you have?
It's a Samsung S21 Ultra.
Oh, nice. Okay. So that accepts an eSIM card. Okay. So basically what you're going to do is in Switzerland, the big carrier is called Swisscom. And they have others, Sunrise or Salt, but Swisscom is the biggest. And I always like to stay with the biggest when I'm traveling. And so what you do is you can buy an eSIM card online, or you can buy it when you get there. They sell them in the airports and they sell them in the convenience stores. I mean, this is pretty common now. And then when you buy it in Switzerland, or if you buy it here, and then you can just, when you land, it will turn on automatically, by the way, is that there's going to be a QR code, and then that's how you activate the eSIM card. It's really simple. This is not a big technical thing that you need to worry about. Then what you need to worry about, then what you need to think about is how much data do you really need? And then that's where you want to look at the plans. If you're going to be streaming music and video because you can't wait to see Your Honor or Succession or Yellowstone or whatever it is that you're watching, is that you're going to want anything more than, say, 2 gigs. And then to make phone calls, that eSIM plan is going to include voice calls, but just make sure that it does. And then, as I mentioned, once it's all set up, when you land, is that your phone will come on and say, hey, welcome to Switzerland. And you're like, okay, I don't want you to use the United States carrier. I want you to use the eSIM. And then give you that option, and then you'll have to text yes or no. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get the eSIM card. Like I said, there are places for you to buy it here in the United States. We'll send you some links. And then you can also buy it anywhere that you go, and you can add more data anywhere that you go in Switzerland. Because let me tell you, the Swiss have the tech going on. They do, Laura. It's pretty amazing. Like even when you go down, I was thinking of like my son and I, we parked in a garage, not near Lucerne. I forget where, maybe it was in Basel. And I was trying to figure out how to pay for the parking. And so I thought for sure, like we would pay for parking on the way out. No. So we went into the out, and then all these cars piled behind us because we couldn't figure out how to pay for the parking. Then I had to get out of the car, like the stupid American, get out of the car and go, okay, everybody needs to back off. Okay, back up because we need to figure out how to park, how to pay for this. Anyway, it turns out that Ian parked the car, and then I ran upstairs, and then you pay for the parking like in the main square, and then you get out of the parking garage. So just these little things that, you learn in life as you travel internationally, which is crazy. Just be sure that you are really careful using any public Wi-Fi networks, and make sure you don't do any banking, any good stuff like that. You can use a VPN, of course, and we recommend ExpressVPN. But, how fun are you going to be on that trip? And we'll send you some links. All right, let's see. Stephanie in Mesa, Arizona. Welcome to the show today.
Hi, Ken. How are you doing?
I'm great. What's going on?
Good. I fell for one of those Ponzi schemes. At the time, it was a family. It was my sister-in-law. She just was like, hey, a bunch of families getting together. We're all pitching in $500 each. And then 4 people put in $500. That gives it to the top person that already put in their $500, and it starts like a tree. Well, after I got to the very bottom of the tree, I realized I'm never going to get my money back. And so I looked it up and found out it was actually a scheme. But I saw the people that got paid out. I sent them the Zelle money. These are all people I know. They fell for the scheme too, but they got money back, and I just didn't. And so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme is what it is, Steph. You have to recruit others to put money into the scheme in order to receive a larger return. And how did you send them the money?
Through Zelle.
I don't know if there's anything you can do to get your money back out of Zelle or anybody else. You can consider filing a dispute with Zelle and explaining that you were a victim of a pyramid scheme and you didn't knowingly participate in it, and maybe they have some type of fund that they can give you your money back or part of the money back. You should also report the scheme to what's called the IC3 Gov. It's ic3.gov because they go after folks who are putting this together. I'm sorry that you felt for this. It's always unfortunate because, you think, well, and you had the authentication, the verification from your family members, right?
Right. I saw one of them got $30,000 in his account. I saw it with my own eyes. So that's why I was like, oh, this is cool. And that's what made me go for it. But he was he was 2 months before me. By that time, thousands of people had signed up. So only those top people got paid, but they had bought so many of the first spots that later on I realized that the rest of us had just been, schemed, like you said. Zelle does not let you get your money back. I tried right after I realized what happened a month or two later. They strung us along. And the guy that ran he has now passed away.
Lesson learned? I mean, let me tell you something. If I could put $30,000 or $500 into something and get 30 grand back, I would be like right there next to you. Okay.
Right.
I would.
That's all my
this is like
I'm kicking myself.
It's like, okay, so I can get 6 to 8% in the market, or, maybe 4% if I did a great CD or government issued bond or something. This is amazing returns. Amazing. Yes. But, unfortunately, sometimes when it's, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And Stephanie, I'm so glad that you took the time to call, because I bet you just helped other people unknowingly right now, Stephanie, who are sitting there in the same spot saying, I could make so much money. I could. Again, you can file that complaint at the Internet Crime Complaint Center. That's ic3.gov. All right. If you have an Amazon Prime account, a lot of people don't know this, is that there's a button called Manage Your Household. And when you do that, you can add another person and then share all your Prime goodies with you. It's a really wonderful way to squeeze the most juice out of your Prime membership. And if you're living with someone who's also a frequent Amazon shopper, raise your hand. Who isn't? This is a great way to say, okay, we're going to split it. We're all going to save some money. All righty, then stay right where you are. We have, of course, more of your phone calls coming up, as well as the one thing you should never do when you install an app here on the Kim Komando Show. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise, home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Breathe deep. Imagine your legs more limber in Duluth Trading Double Flex Denim. Envision euphorically squatting for that can of suds, bending for your toolbox in a state of bliss, lunging for your laser level on a whole new level. Relax and allow the flex to fill you with ability. Find your inner flex in Double Flex Denim only at Duluth Trading.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Instacart has gotten so expensive. I looked at them the other day. I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? It's not just the price of eggs. It's not just the price of food. It just seems like the delivery costs have just skyrocketed. And we're talking about that. And of course, we have your phone calls. But first, let's talk about on your TV that there is a super secret menu. What? Yes. It allows you to tweak advanced settings and features. So first, you turn on your TV, you press the menu on your remote. Then you go into settings. Now, here's the important part. I don't know if you're going to remember this, but just try. You press the following buttons on your remote in this exact order. Mute 1, 8 2 power. Mute 182 power. This is going to bring up the service menu, and that's where you have all these other settings that maybe, I don't know, you might want to tweak the color, the brightness, whatever it may be. Again, you remember, Mute 182 power. Mute 182 power. All righty then. Marshall in Rockford, Illinois. Glad to have you with us.
So I wanted to indicate I had reached out because I enjoy the articles that are published regularly, and I've become hawkish about personal privacy, and I enjoy following the tips in the articles, trying to minimize any attempts at capturing and selling personal information about myself.
Boy, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Yeah, it is. But I currently have a 2005 small sedan that I drive that's got nearly 400,000 miles on it. And so...
Oh, wait, whoa. Did you just say you have 400,000 miles on a car?
About 370,000. It's the fourth time on this particular brand that I've gotten that far with these. They tend to stick around a while.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I everybody looks at me and teases me a little bit, but every single OEM part that was on that car when it rolled off, except for tires and windshield wipers, is still on the car.
That's crazy.
But it's a simple car. It's got an AM/FM radio and electric windows, and that's about it for the luxuries. And but we want to drive around the country. We're looking at a new set of wheels to do that. It's become that time in our lives. But I recently came across an article that was published by Mozilla, if I could mention that.
Oh yeah, the whole car privacy report. Yeah, we did. We talked about that too. Yeah, that was fascinating information, wasn't it?
But it's also spooky.
100%.
I didn't realize I have again because of articles that I've read there from Kim and it's interesting to me that only cell phones and computers are mainly targeted. Nobody thinks about their phone or their cards rather spying on them. And my concern here is that is there any way at all that this thing could be shut down? And is it simply as easy to not connect my phone to the car, or is the process independent of connecting a cell phone? And if so, how does the car transmit my information without a cell phone?
Well, yeah, right. Okay, you're right. One of the primary reasons that cars collect all the data is when you connect your smartphone up to it. So that's where you're going to sync contacts, and you got logs, location data. And, the whole idea is that maybe if I don't connect my phone to the car, then what kind of data can the car get? Well, they can still get some data, right? I mean, they still have onboard computers. You have GM's OnStar. Toyota has something called Safety Connect, and these transmit location. It's all under the guise of, and it is a good one. I mean, as far as safety, if you get in an accident, they automatically know where it is. I mean, you can choose not to subscribe to these services, but you have to know whether or not the car is still going to transmit data even without an active subscription. So that's where you actually have to read the user agreement, or I can tell you another place, which I will in a second. If a car is a built-in GPS system, which they all do, okay, stores location data, your travel routes. What about telematics? These are all your monitor the health of the car. I mean, in my car, I had a notification this morning when I was driving out that, just wanted to let you know that your firmware has been updated. I'm like, thanks. Glad to know that. Didn't know that.
Okay. Can I ask you another question? Can I interject something here?
Sure.
What if this information is monitoring my driving style, and is it possible for the car to disseminate that information to my insurance carrier, and all of a sudden they say, this guy doesn't drive well, which is not the case. I can tell you the whole story about my father's business and safety and the National Safety Council. But that being said, can they make a decision towards an insured that says, we don't want you as an insured, we're dumping you?
Well, they will say no. Okay. I believe personally that information is being collected and being sent off. Why would it not? I mean, that data is valuable. I mean, think about the car manufacturers, or let's just talk about television manufacturers. Okay. TV manufacturers like Vizio, they make more money selling data than they do selling televisions. I mean, okay. So think about all the information and data that your car's collecting. Are they selling that? Yes. Now, there's a place where you can go online. It's called the Vehicle Privacy Report. And if you have trouble finding it, I have a link over on my website. And that's where you can type in the year, make, and model of a car, and it will tell you what data is being collected and if they're selling the data. Okay. Now,
Okay.
where did this website come from and why are they doing this? That was my question.
Okay.
Why they're doing this is because when you sell an old car, part of the dealer's responsibility is to remove all the old data. So this company sprung up to certify that when a dealer sells an old car, that all the data is wiped out. So on the flip side, what they do is they tell you, here's the make and model, and here's the data that they're collecting. So it's kind of a workaround. So are all cars spy mobiles? Not. I read in a Reddit forum, and I don't know if this is true, Marshall, or not, but I did read in a Reddit forum that some cars have an isolated circuit that if you pull one fuse, that will end the data transmission. Now, I don't know which one it is. I don't know if you could wire a switch. I don't know anything about it. But I thought, because I was investigating this, and I thought for a second, that would be interesting to see if maybe if you pulled a fuse, if that would necessarily end the data transmission. But in case you're in the market for a new car, anybody else who's listening, like Marshall, just look up Vehicle Privacy Report. If you have trouble finding it, just head over to commando.com for the official site for that. And Marshall, thank you for your call, and go 400,000 miles. Yes. All right. I have a confession to make. I don't like to go grocery shopping. I just don't like it. I think it's a complete waste of time. And then when I go there, I buy things that I don't need. And it's just easier for me to use Instacart. But let me tell you, there's a huge cost for all this convenience. And I don't know if you've actually checked out the fees lately, but I did. And depending on your location, you can expect up to a 25% markup on groceries. Yeah, I know. But here's what you want to do. Some supermarkets on the app, they say that the Instacart prices are the same as in store. So always look for those when ordering. Now, there's also a delivery fee. It starts at $3.99 for orders over $35. Then there's a service fee. Yeah, that goes directly to Instacart. That's their profit. It's typically the cost of maybe 5% of the order. And then you can't skip the last step when ordering groceries is the shopper's tip. That's really important. And I always tip really well, and I think you should too. I mean, some people do a 5% tip. I always do maybe a 15%. That's in order. It's a lot cheaper than going to the store because, as I said, you're not going to have all those extraneous purchases that you're looking at the end caps going, oh, yeah, I need that second bag of Fritos in the barbecue. Yuck. I mean, I wouldn't eat them, but maybe you would. A lot of people do. Barry loves those. He's like, Kim, get Fritos in every flavor. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. All right, still to come. I want you to stop this one thing when you install an app. And of course, we have more of your phone calls you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, let's go back to the phones with Kendra in Moscow, Idaho. Hi there, Kendra. This looks like a great question.
Hi.
What's going on?
So I'm a second-time caller. I called you once before, and you helped me out so much.
Oh, yay. Love that. She's back for more. Yes.
So here's my project. I am trying to connect my nieces and nephews with our great-great-grandma, and I have scanned all of her old recipes into files, but I'm looking for something that could be kind of like a work in progress where I download her recipes, and then there could be like ways for the nieces and nephews to upload like ratings and then put a picture of them making the actual recipe and how their family enjoyed it, and, just write something on it. Something that could evolve into like a book eventually.
Okay, so tell me one of the greatest recipes from your great-great-grandmother.
Oh, she has like a ton. She used to clip all these newspaper articles, so there's some fun things in there. But one of the things that our family uses, it's called Mint Dazzler, and it's really good.
A Mint Dazzler? What is it?
Yeah. So it has a graham cracker base and then chocolate, kind of like a chocolate pie, silk pie. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that is whipped cream and marshmallows with peppermint on top. Oh. And it's frozen. It's frozen.
That sounds so good. It does. Yeah. I've never heard of that. A Mint Dazzler. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm hungry. You didn't have to do this to me, Kendra.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. What a great idea. Seriously. What a fabulous idea to bridge the generations, right? And to keep the memory alive of your great-grandmother and then introduce these recipes to a whole new generation and more who's going to be able to appreciate them, enjoy them, and then share stories over food. Because let's just face it, I mean, so many of our memories are of our families all around food, right? I mean, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, Easter, whatever it may be. I'm going to tell you about a couple of apps. Up to you to decide which one that you're really going to dig the most, okay? One's called Cookmate. And you can actually import recipes from photos. So if you take pictures of some of these recipes, you can do that. Available on iOS and Android, all of these are. And then with the Cookmate, it also has a website. Plan to Eat is another app that allows you to import recipes and also share it. And then finally, there's Cookbook Manager. And then this way, it's like recipe management. And they all pretty much do the same. But by using any of these apps, you can import the scans. You can allow nieces and nephews and family members to add photos when they try the recipes. And I just think that this is just fabulous. And I want to do this too, Kendra. Although my recipe from my grandmother is not as eloquent. She used to make dandelion wine.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And I'm pretty certain it's not 14% alcohol. So it's like,
that's crazy.
So if you need these names again, I'm going to put you on hold, and then Amber can just give you the details on all of that. And thanks for your call. And wow, what a fabulous idea, Kendra. Let me know how it works out for you. I might want to do this myself one day. Seriously. All righty then. Nick in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the show today, Nick.
Hey, Kim. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the information you provide so many, and it's just so useful and helpful, but also to your great staff there. The interactions with them have just been amazing. But I want to say thank you all for that. But I got a quick question. I'm looking for some help on I take a lot of notes using my iPhone, the 14 Pro Max, using that app, Guest Notes that's in there. And unfortunately, I'm just typing or I have to keep my phone up to my mouth to speak into it. Just wonder if there's an easier way of using notes, maybe through a microphone or something like that. Currently, I work in a retail environment, so I'm walking constantly. And just looking for an easier way to be able to send my information to Notes.
Well, I'll tell you, that Notes app, I think it's one of the most underrated apps that's available on your phone. It's so handy. It's so great. It is. It's wonderful. I use mine all the time, especially folks, if you've never used it, you should just try it. Even to like scan documents. It will be a whole document scanner. Really, really powerful thing right there on your phone. What I'm going to recommend is a wireless lav mic. And so it's a mic that you're going to put on your shirt collar.
Okay.
And there's no wires, and then it just plugs into the phone's power port. Okay. And they're about $25, and it works really, really well. And because it's so close to on your collar, the audio recordings are going to be pretty darn good. And even if you're doing just voice to text or whichever one you're doing, that you'll find that the accuracy of that's going to be pretty much better than if you're holding the phone up to your mouth, which is like so annoying.
It is.
Right? It's like,
it is, and beats trying to type all of this stuff in the process. So,
and let me tell you, it's not a good look. It's not just walking around talking into your phone. So, hang on the line, Nick, and Maddie's going to give you a link to. I'm going to recommend the May Besta is the line. It's a cordless omnidirectional condenser recording mic. A lot of people use it for interviews, and it's on sale. I think it's on sale right now for about $25. It used to be, I think it was, $50. It's like 50% off or something going on right now. I'm not sure why, but it's a really, really great lav mic. And Nick, thank you for your call. Okay, if you have not already signed up for my free newsletter, I don't know what the heck you're waiting for. Over at Trustpilot, we have probably 750 reviews. Everybody, let's see, there was one 1-star review. I think there's one 2-star review. There's a handful of 4-star reviews, which means there's about 735 5-star reviews. Okay. The Kim Komando Show, the Kim Komando newsletters, we have a 5 out of 5-star review. You know the show. You love the show, which means you're going to love the podcast. If you're not already get the podcast, just search for Komando. But I really want to stress that, if you truly want to stay tech ahead, I mean, of course, the show is a great place. We love that you listen. But you really should be getting the newsletter too, because there's so much stuff I just don't have time to cover here on the show. I wish I could, but they only give me a certain amount of time. So that's why you need to get the newsletter, and you're just going to love it. Just head over to getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com, and you're going to see like, oh yeah, now I know what everybody's raving about. This newsletter is fabulous. All right, still to come, the one thing that I don't want you to do whenever you install an app here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, when you install an app, it comes up and it gives you a whole bunch of different options. And one of them says, oh, would you like us to share your contacts, or can we have your contacts, or any word that says contacts? I want you to say no. You just gave them your entire address book. Why would you do that? You just kind of got rid of all your friends, because now they're going to get spammed and called or whatever it may be. So if an app ever asks for your contacts, just say no. And don't forget to enter my Pay It Forward challenge. Do it right now while you're thinking about it. Head over to winfromkim.com, and thanks for listening.